What's perfect for summer is a woven t-shirt. I've got all the answers. I'll show you. Oh my gosh, this is such a fun project. This really is just perfect for this time of year. So I hope you like this. I love my new t-shirt. I'm going to show you mine. I'm going to show you a couple different versions so that you can just kind of play with it. So what we're seeing a lot of in ready to wear today is wovens and knits and the mixing of the wovens and knits together. So it's done in a myriad of different ways, and I'm going to show you one way today to mix those wovens and the knits. The wovens are incredible. Some of the prints we have, they're so lightweight. They're from France. They're just absolutely beautiful. Just really lightweight. The cottons, the rayons we have, again, light and perfect. So when you combine them, the shirt is still so light that it's hard to believe I have 2 layers on. That's just incredible, amazing to me. So what I did is I started with just a regular t-shirt. I used 117, the cut up tee, because I love the parts and I love the plain of these parts. And so when you look at the pattern, what you see is that if I took 50% and went to one way, let me show you this back and I'll show you what I did. Let me just turn this around. Whoops. So you can see that this is woven, this is knit, and I don't lose any fit. And then I patchworked it. This is woven and this is knit. And again, I don't lose any fit at all. And just showing you that on, sorry, my stand is crooked here. She's gonna fall. Showing you that, you can see I did the same on this back. So I did 2 versions, and the reason I did 2 versions is I wanted you to see that it could be as simple as subbing out half woven and half print, because if I take half and make it a woven, the knit still has the ability to stretch, and then I just patchwork it. So I did these 2 with the fabrics woven, and I did these 2 with the knit, and so that really worked. Then the front, I didn't have a choice, it had to be a knit. So this little bottom piece down here, you can see I did as a woven, and of course the sleeves have to be a knit. So it's just a really fun way to take a pattern and throw that woven into it. Then what I did is I decided that I could do a whole different level, so I did the one I have on. And what you do is you merge the 2 layers together. So all I did is cut 2 fronts completely, one woven and one knit. I put the woven on top, just like this. Now I did this little sample in kind of a contrasting thread so you could see it. Mine all matches, it's all in the same color thread. And you can see you're just going to stitch the 2 together. You're going to quilt. And you're just going to sit there and quilt rows. Again, if you noticed with mine, it doesn't have to be straight. It doesn't even have to be even. You notice mine goes off to the side. And then I just cut this big piece off. This is just all the base. It's all this part. This little piece over here is actually the little portion at the bottom. So, gosh, you could cut a big chunk in the middle. You can kind of just make it however you want it to be. And I think that's the fun of it, is there's no one way that makes it good or bad or whatever. So I just stitched and stitched. And again, in this case, because I started over here and I started stitching at a slant, this all kind of became biased. And I just love that. The fabric, the woven, is on top. So it's going to pull, because the knit underneath has some negative ease to it. So that fabric on top is going to pull away. So once I've stitched all the layers that I want, and what I did here is exactly like what I did on mine, is I left a little bit of a gap. So I'm going to show you that what you can do then is just cut next to the stitching. It doesn't matter how close you stitch, but with these, again, I'm going to kind of cut some of these channels. And as far as how far apart you stitch, doesn't make a difference. You just got to be able to get your scissors in there and cut. So I've cut, mine are about 1 inch apart is what mine are. And again, you can see that as you stitch the 2 layers together, you can do any direction. So you can see that once you put that t-shirt on or do your negative ease, it's going to give you the fit of the knit, but it's going to have the print of the woven, but it will release itself. Then what I did is I just ironed it, and the ironing kind of took it away. The best part is as it starts to ravel. So like, this isn't the best part, I don't think. I think is when it starts to ravel. Don't trim the raveling, because it will only ravel X amount. It's the trimming of the raveling that will allow it to continue to ravel to nothing. So just leave the threads, leave it all just a mess. So with this one, because the front now is going to be print, if we look at this one, it's a solid front. This one's the print front. I did the little piece over here, the front piece, in the knit, because I wanted the contrast. This is actually all one piece. This is still the front piece. I just cut a big chunk away, but I left it in the French dart. I went ahead and stitched the French dart. I just love how it turned out. But again, it's all just random. And, you know, as you stitch and cut, and if you decide you want more or less, you can just stitch and cut more. It's just really a fun project. So take that favorite woven that maybe you haven't, I don't know, maybe you haven't done anything with it, or you're not sure what you want to do with it, and you can make a t-shirt out of wovens now. That's the goal, woven t-shirts. And this is just a great way how. And then the back I did exactly like this. So you still have the stretch because you've got a stretch piece here, and you still got a stretch because you've got the knit here and the woven over here. So the cut up tee works perfect for it. Otherwise you'd have to do all the pieces like this, and you certainly could. It's just a little more work. So this is the simplest, easiest way. And then this is the way that's going to have a little more work, or you can do something in between. All right. So happy sewing from Silhouette Patterns.